want to watch.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to Fatberg. Today I have a reaction for you. I thought I would do a reaction because it's been quite a while, and we have something of recent discussion to go over, right? So, where do I begin here? So we're talking about AI images, and you probably already know what I'm going to be referencing here, but there was a recent controversy with some AI-created pornographic images shared on Twitter of Taylor Swift, right? And this is creating a pretty big discussion about the legality and the morality of creating these things. And this is kind of a weird situation because obviously the images aren't real. They might source, you know, real materials to create these things, and that's that's part of the discussion of the legality of it. As we have found out recently, there was some controversy with some what would you call it? Some models, some algorithm training models for these AI image generators were sourcing potentially illegal images. Or not even potentially. I believe they identified them and found that they were, you know. I gotta be careful on how we word things here. We've been flagged a couple of times on YouTube, but the fact of the matter is we're having a pretty important discussion right now about the legality of AI images, and Taylor Swift is currently wielding the fucking sword against AI images right now. The images in question that were shared on Twitter are actually pretty hard to find. Her lawyers or whatever team struck them down. And I don't really know how I feel about AI images. I kind of feel like when it, you know, depicts a real person, it kind of puts us into a similar situation like with the fappening, if you remember that, where a bunch of private images were shared of famous celebrities online, and I never looked at those images. I honestly, I think it's wrong. I know a lot of people have, and, you know, whatever, but I don't think you should. And this kind of falls into the same category, right, where this stuff was made, like, without her permission. Taylor Swift is she's a person. I assume she has, you know, thoughts and feelings about this type of stuff, and she definitely has rights to how her identity is used, right? So they're cracking down on this, and the White House has fucking responded, and this is, it's actually pretty serious. And that's why I'm gonna look at these images. I'm gonna react to them because I want to see what we're dealing with here. That's something we talk about a lot on this channel, is I do believe in some situations it is important. I'm gonna sound like I'm making fucking excuses here, but I do believe in some situations it is important to see what's going on to understand it better. And when I think of AI images, I usually think of weird, like, obviously fake bullshit. And I had to find the specific ones because, like, fakes of celebrities are not new, right? Like, they've been doing that for a long fucking time. The fappening is one of those things, like, I never fucked with that. That says anything to you, like, looking at what we viewed on this channel. I think it's wrong to look at those images because, again, they were shared unconsensually. And I think, you know, as much as I would love to see Jennifer Lawrence naked, it should be requested and given. You know, she should agree to it. We should demand that in the next Jennifer Lawrence Hunger Games movie, she fucking spreads it like Christopher Maloney from the TV show Oz.
Got your Hunger Games right here. Eat up.
That's what we need to ask, and if she decides to do it, that's great. But I'm not gonna look at these stolen fucking pictures. But how does that apply to AI, right? Because it's fake. It's fake. They're definitely sourcing her likeness to create these images, but everything else, like, obviously there's no nude images of Taylor Swift out there. So does it fall into that same category? I'm not a huge fan of Taylor Swift. Do you like her? That's fine. But, so I have the images pulled up here. I've kind of looked at them, sort of, because in order to find them, it just sort of pops up. But we're We're gonna breeze over these here, and my god. So, right off the rip, a lot of these are pretty realistic. Some of them are a little cartoony, but some of these look fucking, like, very, very real. Oh my god. Jesus! Ooh! Okay. So, here's the thing. When I originally looked this up, some stuff popped up on Google, but it was all censored, and it legitimately, it's a little shocking because it looks quite fucking real. And I'm not gonna like link to the, oh my, like that looks like a real fucking photo. Jesus Christ. Okay, I don't want to look at this one. That's fucking sick. That one doesn't look like Taylor Swift all that much. What the fuck is this here? So if we keep scrolling, there's a lot of these, and you know, some of them are so these are some of the ones I'd heard about. This is her and Oscar the Grouch on some trash. It looks exactly like Taylor Swift, and it's a very realistic image. But some of these are just kind of like wacky, and I don't know. Oh my god, there's so many of her and Oscar the Grouch. Why? What the fuck? Oh, this Big Bird. What are we doing here? Who made these? And it's like, okay, so here's the thing. This is a fucking her and Kermit. Oh, okay, so here's where it gets weird, is like, I don't know if somebody made these as a joke or if they made them to be, like, sexual, you know? And, okay, I wanted to show this one. I'm gonna censor this. Is that fucking Childish Gambino in the back here? What's his name? That guy. That's fucking him, yeah? He's just hanging out behind Taylor Swift and Oscar the Grouch fucking going at it on some garbage. And there's like some homeless people, and like this guy kind of looks like Hannibal Buress right here. Like I'm kind of conflicted. Is like, did somebody make this as a joke, or did somebody make some of these like, I mean, obviously some of them are meant to like legitimately be pornographic, because again, a lot of these are just pretty standard like porn shit. Some of it's drawings, and I don't know where we stand on drawings, but like, if it's satirical, is it okay? Right? That's what I'm trying to say here. I'm gathering myself a little bit, because this is, oh boy. Let's go back to the beginning here. So, like, the ones that are meant to be satirical, right? Like, where it's Oscar the Grouch, and there's no nudity shown, and it's like, it's silly, right? Like, it's fucking dumb, and I don't really have an issue with that exactly. It's not up to me. Again, it's her likeness. She can do whatever she wants, but, like, this one here, which I'll censor and kind of show you, where it's just photorealistic pornography made with her likeness, and it was shared on Twitter, which also raises the issue of like let's say like you're a kid or something, you went on Twitter to look up fucking Taylor Swift, and it's just covered in AI porn, and that's definitely going to affect your fucking brand, right? Now, okay, so Jesus. I'm doing research, damn it. Some of it's just too silly to take seriously, but some of it is a problem. AI, we need to find some sort of middle ground of what's allowed and what isn't. Because again, like, people are using this stuff to create potentially illegal images, which obviously should not be allowed. But there's a few issues with that. Which, one is, like, how do you classify it when it's not something real? And, like, when do we start reaching that line where, like, it affects artists and things like that? Because for a while, there's been protections for depictions of whatever the fuck in art, you know? And then there's also the fact, like, how do you even regulate this to begin with? Because, like, I got a program right here on my Mac, and I can type in pretty much whatever the fuck, and with a little bit of trickery, I could create whatever I wanted here. And how do you stop this stuff from going around? It's hard enough as it is to stop any sort of illegal image on the internet. Can we prevent this here? I don't know. Taylor Swift is huge, though. She's the closest thing we've had to, like, a Michael Jackson, just in terms of, like, cult following and shit. And, again, these images were kind of hard to find, actually, so her team has done a, a good job at fucking cracking down on it. And honestly, yeah, it's kind of fucking shocking just how realistic some of these are. Again, some of these I can laugh at them because it's just fucking insane. Like, what is this? I don't even want to click on this. What the fuck? Is this AI or is this a drawing? What the fuck am I looking at right now? Okay. All right, enough. Let's minimize this for 5 seconds and gather ourselves for real. So, in my opinion, I do not think it's okay to use, like, a real, actual person to make AI images. I think if it is a fake, non-existent thing, I don't think it really matters. Like, if it's a fucking cartoon character or something, whatever, do whatever the fuck you want. But if it's an actual person, you're infringing on potentially their copyright, and also just, again, like, these are people, they have opinions, they don't want to be shown that way. And that's an issue, right? And, like, you know what a good example of this is, what the fuck was his name? Shad Man back in the day, who was an artist. He drew images, and he famously got in trouble for drawing images of children, some of them, like, real children, right? And it was meant to be satirical. I'm not defending it, but that's what it was. And where people started to draw the line is, again, he actually went after, like, actors, as well as, I believe, infamously, it was Keemstar's daughter. And, again, he did these as a joke, sort of. But you cross a line when it's a living person who has, you know, opinions on this type of stuff. And then, you know, a few weeks ago or whatever, we had an issue where some of these models were found to be using actual abuse images that it wasn't deliberate, but they just source images from Google and wherever, and shit pops up in there. The line is if it's a real person. I don't think it's okay if it's a real person. But how do we crack down on this type of shit? I have no idea. That's not for me to figure out, but I think we're going to find out very, very fucking quickly how we do that.